What's going on, guys? Welcome to Comic Island. My name is Joey. This is Super Baby Ella. And today we're going to discuss who is winning 2016 so far, Marvel or DC. Now, we're halfway through the year and I'm going to bring up everything that the studios have done to really win our hearts and open our wallets. The purpose of this video is to list the many different ways that Marvel and DC have done to pull our interest. I will be focusing on the branding, not so much who owns the rights to what, because that could get pretty confusing. That being said, let's take a look at how well Marvel and DC did at the box office. This year opened with a huge bang with Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool, which surpassed everybody's expectation. The movie only costed $58 million, but brought in $782 million worldwide, and Marvel is laughing their way to the bank. But Dad, doesn't Fox own Deadpool? Then the long-awaited Batman v Superman came out. The production budget was $250 million and made $872 million. Marvel responded with their own hero-on-hero action with Civil War, which costed the same amount as Batman v Superman, but made a whopping $1,152 million. Then in the same month, Marvel hit the big screen again with X-Men Apocalypse. Production costed $178 million, but brought in $534 million. Suicide Squad is already out, so I don't have the numbers for that yet, but for the rest of the year, Marvel has a chance for a comeback with Gambit on October 7. But Dad, isn't Gambit pushed back? Yes, my dear child, you are correct. Gambit is still coming out, but there are a lot of problems with production right now, so we won't be seeing Channing Tatum as the Raging Cajun this year, but we will see Sherlock Holmes as a Sorcerer Supreme this November, and yes, this movie is a Marvel Disney property. And to the end of the year, we were supposed to get Marvel Sinister 6 movie, but that seemed to be put on ice for the moment. What about San Diego Comic-Con 2016? Who do you think got more fans chanting their logo, Marvel or DC? Let's start with everything Marvel had going for it. We got a full trailer to Doctor Strange, which was awesome. Then Marvel gave us a bunch of movie announcements. Guardians 2 will introduce Kurt Russell as Ego the Living Planet, as Peter Quill's father? Dang, they're straying far from the comics. Brie Larson is playing Carol Danvers as Captain Marvel. The Vulture will make a big screen appearance debut in Spider-Man Homecoming, and Black Panther gets his cast. Oh, and we got a new Marvel TV show announcement. Legion, Charles Xavier's estranged son, is coming to a television screen near you. So now, let's take a look at what DC brought to the table. We are visual creatures, and there's nothing that gets our nerd juices going than an epic trailer, and we got two of them. But then again, Batman v Superman made us go nuts, but the movie fell kinda short. But whatever, the Justice League trailer alone was just so good. But that's not all. DC got answers for Thor fans in the form of Wonder Woman. If these two trailers were the main course, then the Lego Batman and the Justice League action trailers were a very nice dessert. Now let's take a look at how well Marvel and DC is doing on TV and Netflix. Arrow is on its 5th season, still going strong, along with the spin-off The Flash, which is on its 3rd season with a very classic storyline that would please all fans. Legends of Tomorrow is also coming back for its 2nd season, which will introduce the Justice Society of America. Supergirl got a 2nd season, Gotham on its 3rd season, and we got This Strange Show on its 3rd season. Wait, they replaced Young Justice with this? Sorry, continuing on. So it looks like DC is dominating cable TV, whereas Marvel only has Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. But then again, Ghost Rider is coming to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., so maybe this will pull your attention away from Flashpoint. Unfortunately, Agent Carter was cancelled, and not even Netflix wanted to pick it up. But Marvel is going strong with their animated shows such as Ultimate Spider-Man, Avengers Assembled, and Guardians of the Galaxy. Holy cow, I gotta catch up on some of these shows. Hulk and Agents of Smash is still in a limbo without any news of it being returning for the 3rd season, or not. My guess is gonna get cancelled. Since DC seems to be dominating cable TV, it's only right that Marvel gets a big piece of the pie on Netflix. It is all about the Defenders from Marvel. We got a few very good shows coming up, such as Daredevil Season 3, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and Iron Fist. And of course, they will join forces in the Defenders, which is like their version of the Avengers. And there are talks about a spin-off to the Punisher TV show starring your favorite crazy vigilante, Jon Bernthal. Okay, we all know that Marvel dominates Netflix, and DC seems to be winning the cable TV race, but we can't argue that DC Comics is doing all sorts of win in their animated movie department. They have adapted The Killing Joke into an animated movie, and following San Diego Comic-Con 2016, we got 3 more DC animated films to look forward to. And finally, it all comes down to their roots. What is Marvel and DC doing with their comic book lineups and events? Because of its success with 2006's Civil War, we are now getting a Civil War Part 2. The X-Men have Apocalypse War, which seems downright boring to me, but we were teased with the Death of X storyline, which will reveal what happened to present-day Cyclops and how he died. We know the Inhumans are involved somehow, which leads us to the X-Men vs. Inhumans storyline. Sadly, one of the biggest absences in Marvel now is the X-Men, except for the Death of X storyline. If you subscribe to the conspiracy theories, then it looks like Marvel is moving away from their X-Men comic book titles because Fox owned the movie rights. The Inhuman movie is scheduled to be released, so it would stand to reason that Marvel is giving this franchise a big push, and there aren't any other groups that could replace the X-Men except said group. I also gotta point out the lack of Fantastic Four issues in All New, All Different Marvel and Marvel Now. Fox owns the movie rights to X-Men and the Fantastic Four, meaning they own the side characters and all of the villains that we grew to love, such as Deadpool and Cable. That being said, maybe Deadpool is up next on Marvel's comic book chopping block. I don't think this will happen anytime soon or at all, but it's always interesting to speculate. Over at DC, me and Arden have covered what we thought about the New 52, but comic book master writer Jeff Johns has brought us DC Rebirth, a new status quo that fixes a lot of problems and gave us back our post-crisis Wally. When I'm asked if I'm a Marvel or a DC fanboy, I say I'm neither and I'm both. I love both companies, but right now, because of DC Rebirth, DC's got my attention. This, combined with San Diego Comic-Con 2016 and the great TV shows that I watch on cable TV, makes me a DC fanboy in 2016. But the year is not over yet. Marvel did a great job with their cinematic universe, and Deadpool was just ridiculously good, whereas I felt like I died a bit inside after watching Batman v Superman. I have all of the confidence in the world that Marvel's Doctor Strange will knock it out of the ballpark, but because of the announcement that Jeff Johns has been promoted to president of DC Comics, my focus has shifted to DC. So there you have it. It's halfway through the year and my attention has been leaning towards DC. But this is all subjective. There is no right or wrong in an opinion. Which studio are you enjoying more right now, and why? I know there are a lot of hardcore Marvel and DC fans, so I gotta ask you for a favor. Please respect the opinions of others in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, if you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time in another Comic Island video.